Assalamu alaikum, sisters and brothers. Suleiman Rahim here. Let's slay some demons. As it says, this continuation of my theme, who will survive, who will win the war of Armageddon? Elijah Muhammad, the messenger, used to say, who will survive? That's okay, that's appropriate. We take a step further, okay? Because he was setting you up for the war. I'm taking you into it. So we're not here to survive, we're here to win. See, when you understand Elijah and understand his mission, then you understand more of why he was saying the things he was saying. Because if you pay attention to the scriptures, you understand. Elijah, a Levite. Who are the Levites? Farrakhan doesn't know. Silas doesn't. None of them know. But they weren't the children of Israel. That was a different tribe. Levites was a different tribe, a priest tribe. And Elijah came to raise the Levites and to prepare them. They were supposed to prepare a bridge between Moses and Joshua, or Elijah and Suleiman. That's their, and he set it up, he showed them how to do it. And that's their mission. Prepare that bridge. And also to prepare them, the Levites, for the atom bomb blast, the angel, that was about to be ignited. So they find protection from it. See, he raised them up, then he get them protection from that blast. Because he knew it was coming. The messenger of the covenant, the angel, he knew it was coming, and he wanted to protect them from it. But they failed. They followed after lion Aaron, Farrakhan. You see him Sunday, Easter Sunday, right? Ishmael trying to make he's Jesus, and there's twists and distort things. They have to. See, because the suit is not tailor-made for him. It's tailor-made for Suleiman. Suleiman doesn't have to do any alterations to that suit. If you go and check out Suleiman, everything it says falls exactly as it said in scripture. Everything, perfectly, from time he was conceived to being 3 years in the belly of the whale, to breaking the seals. I mean, on and on and on. But none of those things fit Lion, Farrakhan, Aaron. But see, we don't argue with these people. Understand, brothers and sisters, we don't argue with anyone. We don't fight with them. We don't need to. We don't need to. Because as the scriptures tell you, there will be a famine of the truth. And that will be during the time of Aaron, the 42 years of Aaron, when in Elijah's absence, in the messenger's absence, in Moses' absence. There'll be a famine of truth. Because Elijah, boy, he came out and he gave you, right, good water to drink. And then he went away, and then they polluted the water. All kinds of filth. It was all polluted. Lead, poison, everything. But that's all that people had to drink. That's all they had. See? That's all our people had to drink. They didn't have anything else. And when there's a famine or a drought, you drink whatever was available. Even the Quran acknowledges that. If there's no food available in the famine, and it's all there is to eat is pork, then it doesn't condemn you for eating it if that's all there is to save your life. See? So that's all they had to drink. And then our brothers and sisters starting to wake up because Elijah Muhammad shook the nation. Some starting to wake up. Then they started looking for some water to drink, and all there was filthy water from Farrakhan and Silas and Royal and all these guys. No, filthy water, but it was water. It was better than the water they was getting from Massa. Wasn't clean, but it was clean and the water given from Master. They took it. They thought that was it. Because if you never had clean water, you don't know you can have nothing to compare water to. So to them, that was clean. It was cleaner than what they had. So maybe that's the way water is. Maybe that's just the way water is, the water they was given. And some took that's the way it is. You see? Until clean water comes along. Now, no one will drink dirty water unless they're totally insane if they have a choice between dirty water and clean water, especially water is crystal clean. See? And free. See, because dirty water they had to pay for it. Not only was it dirty, they had to pay for it. They had to pay Silas and Farrakhan and Ron. They had to pay people for that dirty water they was drinking. But now, here's some crystal clear, clean water, no lead, anything in it, and they don't have to pay for it. Now, you think these dope pushers, right, protecting their corner, is going to want you to go and taste that water? Because once you taste that water, you ain't going back to them no more. Once you taste clean water, hey, this is clean water. That was dirty. I ain't going back that stuff no more. You ain't going anywhere near it. So they're going to try to do everything they can to keep you from away from the clean water, especially if you ain't got to pay for it. It's free. This water is clean and free. That's why we don't argue with them. We don't fight with them, right? We don't get any conflicts with them, right? We don't do any of that stuff. We don't need to, because clean water speaks for itself. Clean water speaks for itself. Once they taste it, they're not going back to that. There's no way. You see, clean water speaks for itself. So we're not here to convince anyone, brothers and sisters. We're here to argue with anyone, to debate anyone, any of that. We're here just to offer you, here's some clean water, brother. Here's some clean water, sister. You know, you can drink if you like. I mean, it's free. You can drink as much as you want. Isn't that beautiful? See, we don't have to worry about, hey, man, don't go there and talk to them. If I got clean water, would I care if you go and talk to that guy that got dirty water? If you want to go and drink his dirty water after you drink clean water, that's your business. Because I know once you taste this water, you ain't coming back. I don't have to watch you. I have to tell you, stay away from the internet, stay away from social media, stay away from these people. I must tell you that. Because just good sense is going to tell you that. Because, man, I ain't drinking no dirty water, man. I've got clean water and it don't cost me nothing. And I got to drink your dirty water and you got to pay you for it? See what I'm saying? So we don't argue with them. We don't fight with them. We don't debate with them. Okay? There's no debate about clean water. They want to come, oh, man, yeah, man, it's clean, but where'd you get it from? Oh, bye. Yes, that dirty person got dirty water. Where do you get it from? So you want to get it? Buy. Clean water is free and it's clean. That should be all. That's the end of it. Then we're going to say, oh, brother, you sure yours clean? I mean, how long is it going to stay clean? And are you going to raise the price? Or are you going to start? Hey, if you got all those questions, go back and drink the dirty water. See, that's why you don't argue with these people. You don't get in debates with them. They ease up on you. Oh, yeah, I like this, like. And then also, but they don't like this part. Oh, I like the water. But man, it's a little too wet, ain't it? Is it cold enough, man? Okay, if it's too cold or too warm, whatever, go drink the other water then. See, we don't get into any of that kind of stuff with these people. Here's clean water, brother and sister. You want it or you don't. Buy. If you want it, you know where I'm at. I got all the clean water you want. If you don't want it, buy it. You want to argue about it? Like they say, don't look a gift horse in the mouth. Was it how they say it? Getting it free and it's clean. That should be in the sentence. So understand that, brothers and sisters. But we ain't mad at our brothers and sisters out there. We're not mad at them because, like I said, when you talk to them, they haven't tasted clean water yet. Once they taste the clean water and they go back, there's no forgiveness for that. Don't come back here. They better understand what's going on. See, they got this idea about Jesus, he forgive everybody, everything. They got that all wrong. They better read the scriptures again. You taste that clean water and you go back dirty water, you can't come back, get no more clean water. You was getting it free and was clean and you turned it down and spit on it and everything. Hey, don't come back here. You can't come back here no more. You don't get no second chance. You don't get cowards and traitors a second chance, because all they do is learn from their mistakes, and the next time they make sure it's fatal. Understand, brothers and sisters? See? So we got clean water. Those of you that's drinking this clean water, you know it's clean. You know what's different between what you had before. So you don't argue. You know, hey, you see, brothers, hey, here's some clean water, brothers and sisters. You want to taste it? No? Okay, I'm going to see you. Keep moving. See, because what time you waste this food, you could have talked to some other people. So we ain't mad our brothers and sisters out there that's like that, because, I mean, that's, you know, that's caught up in all this stuff with fire and all that kind of stuff, because they didn't have any other water to drink. But once they taste some clean water, then that's when the judgment comes in. Because if you taste the clean water and you don't, and you refuse to keep drinking that clean water, then you judge yourself. You judge yourself. So bye. See, that's the way it works, brothers and sisters. That's the way it works. Okay, so let's move on, brothers and sisters. But I want to talk about the events that's happening now, again, because we're into it, and it says the day of the Lord. So there's none like it. So it's a year to a period where all kinds of fantastic things are going to happen. Because once this jump off, it's going to move fast. Move so fast that you're not going to be able to keep up with it unless you're really strong in the angel. Even those studying angel may not be able to keep up with it because it's going to become so fast. See? Because wartime. It's wartime. And you don't want to talk about it but me. They don't. I mean, first of all, you have to understand it's a war. Then you have to understand the nature of the enemy. Then you have to understand what weapons you use for the battle. You see? So you can go out there and use guns and knives. I mean, who makes the guns and knives? That's not going to win this war. Because the war of minds. So you got to understand the nature of the war. It's like if there's going to be a catastrophe. See? Noah knew that the catastrophe would be a flood. So therefore he built an ark. If you don't know what the catastrophe is, then how can you prepare for it? And if a catastrophe is a fire, right? Then you know to get out of town or some other kind of, you don't build an ark. See, so they don't know what kind of catastrophe is going to be. They totally confused over there. Size and fire, they're totally confused. You see, Ishmael, that boy is an idiot. See, he just twists stuff around all over the place. 1 week, I don't want to go into his foolishness, right? But you have to know the nature of the catastrophe, right? The target of the catastrophe, right? Who your enemies are, all these things. They don't know any of those things, so how can they prepare you for it? But those of you who are studying, you know these things. And that's a blessing, because you didn't know it before. You had no idea. Let's move on. Watch the JCPOA. Watch it. They're trying to negotiate Iran back into it. My understanding angel says that's not going to happen. So if it does happen, then we know we got issues. Because then it's very clear on that one. They're not going back to it. And I've been very clear on it. But now they got negotiations going on in Austria, right? But not direct negotiations. And a lot of people saying they don't really expect they're gonna come out of it because they're at impasse. Iran says, "Hey, we're not going to come back into it unless you drop all the sanctions first." So Mr. Mentally disemboweled Biden, well, no, we're not going to drop the sanctions until you comply with the agreement. See, and Iran ain't stupid. Remember, these guys, that's Persia. They're the ones that invented chess. So they're impasse. So they're not having direct talks with each other. Because Iran said, no, it's not going to happen. And so who's going to fold? Because if they don't go back, the war is definitely coming afterwards. There's no doubt about it. It's for false Israel is already stated. Right? They're going to war either way. See, because they're not going to let Iran have nuclear weapons. Yet Iran has just signed this deal, what, 30 billion or 40, 50, 50, $80 billion or whatever with China. Part of the deal was that China would defend Iran against any attack. You see everything coming together, everything coming into focus. And they give Iran's going to fuel China with all kinds of oil for, what, 30 years or 50 years or whatever. I don't know the details. I can't remember right now. Think about it. What does that mean? What's the implications? Do we look between the lines? Do we read between the lines? What's the implications of that? Because when this war kicks off, the war in between Iran, with Iran, that's going to ignite the war of Armageddon, the global war. But immediately they're going to go to war in Europe and with Iran and China. And we see China's emerging. We're going to talk about that when we get further into it. China's emerging as a superpower, and their stated aim is to become the most powerful country in the world. And they're quickly moving towards achieving that goal. That's their goal. So watch the JCPOA. Because if they go back to it, then I guess I can go back to reading scientific books or whatever. Because the angel is very clear on that point. And as far as I can tell, oh, let's see, I'm watching this thing. It says they arrested one of the House of Stars princes. They try to have a coup against the king, King Abdullah. Mm-hmm. And Farrakhan, they falling apart over there. In the news, this guy, Noah Green, I think his name is, says he crashed into Washington gate, one of the barriers, killed a cop. And they said all over the thing, he's a follower of Farrakhan. Said he was disgruntled because he lost his job and he was looking for spiritual guidance, neither of which he will get from Farrakhan. He won't get a job from him, and he won't get his spiritual guidance. That tells you everything you need to know right there. Because, I mean, he says he was in need of it. So that means he wasn't getting it. If you need something, that means you're not getting it, right? See? And he wasn't getting, he's definitely not getting it. He's definitely not going to get a job, right? He's definitely not going to get a job from Farrakhan. Farrakhan ain't about jobs, right? He got economic money for 42 years and begging for it, but he ain't about jobs. So he's about transformation. He's the Jesus. What happened to Aaron? So, bull. Okay. Brothers and sisters, quickly here. See, we in America, you got 2 pieces of coal. See, we piece of coal under pressure. You know, put coal under pressure for it takes billions of years. And suddenly it transforms from, see, transformation takes place like overnight. But the pressure keeps building until the pressure is so great that the structure of the coal, the molecular structure of the coal can no longer, right, stay in the form that constitute coal. So it rearranges itself to a much stronger state. That's a diamond, because diamond is much stronger, firmer state structure than coal is. The same material, it's just stronger, right? It's like, you go to the gym and you start lifting weights, right? And you get muscles and everything. Well, you're the same person, but you're harder, you're stronger now. So that's what diamond is. It's still coal. It's just a stronger structure. You put it in a furnace, it'll burn just like coal does. But I don't think you want to do that. But for every other aspect, it's just like coal. It's just harder. See? Because it rearranges itself. So here we got 2 pieces of gold here. We got Massa and we got us. See? Dr. Shabazz and Dr. Yakub under extreme pressure. Because we've been under extreme pressure for 1 year, but they've been under pressure too. Because remember, the pressure was the same for them. They was applying the pressure, but if you're pushing on something, it's pushing back. That's, every action has opposite reaction. So if you're pushing on something, it's pushing back through the same force that you're pushing on it. Like if you push out a spring, right? Whereas you push it down, you can feel a spring pushing back up at you because it's equal. So they're under the same pressure too. See? But Well, they was on the same pressure. Everybody was on the same pressure, only because we were suffering energy deprivation, right? So we wasn't united, and we was going through all other kind of things I've talked about in the past, right? So I'm not going into all the details. But anyway, we was all on the same. We all be on the whole world is under the same amount of pressure. It just affects people differently. See, if they come and tell everybody what everybody has to carry around 500 pounds in their back, or 100 pounds in their back, some people is going to be broken by that, and some people not. But they're carrying the same amount of pressure, same amount of weight. It's just some can handle it, some can't. You see? So I said before, white folks were suffering just as much as we were, just a different way. See? 5 plus 3 is 8, 1 plus 7 is 8, 2 plus 6 is 8. That's a concept people just don't understand. They were suffering just as much as we were. It was just a different way. See? Alcoholism, maybe, disease, they were suffering just as much as we were, just a different way. See? They worry about going to hell when they die. I mean, that's a hell of a mental thing to carry around your life anyway. I can't stop doing this evil, but I know I'm going to hell. That's why they invent this whole thing about Jesus, to try to alleviate that. Well, all you got to do is just pray on Jesus and you'll be forgiven every sin you've ever done. They had to invent that. See? Because they couldn't even bear to live themselves. Their conscience was killing them. See? What little conscience they had, the whole reason why they came up with this thing about if you commit suicide, that you go to hell forever and ever and ever, that's not in the Bible anywhere. But the Pope had to do that over in Europe because they went to Dark Ages. These people was committing suicide like, like these people go to McDonald's. They were just pop, 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 pop. Oh, they was off themselves. So then they came, Pope had said, well, because they was all under Catholicism then, if you do that, you're going to hell. That's try to stop it. Even now, when they got everything, they still commit suicide. So what would you think they was doing when they had nothing? So okay, anyway, so we 2 pieces of coal right here, and now the pressure's increasing. See, so you put more pressure on it. It's 2 things. One or 2 things can happen. It transforms to a greater structure if it has the ability to do that, right? Or it's crushed. It can't restructure itself, so it comes apart, right? So here we go. That's what it's telling you. It says they will be crushed. The Bible tells you that. They'll be crushed to dust while we'll be transformed overnight to a twinkle of an eye into a diamond. That's what's happening. You see, America's under intense pressure, and the pressure increasing. The stress on America is increasing. It says their hearts can be failing for fear of those things they see coming. They're going to be, hearts can be, listen to that carefully. The men's hearts will be failing for the fear of the things they see coming upon the earth. We recognize earth represents European countries. That includes America. It says men's hearts will be failing for fear of things coming. That's fearing just because the things is coming, not there yet. Just because the things they perceive that might be happening. Like, oh man, I think a storm is coming, so you have a heart attack. Storm ain't got there yet. So if the storm gets there, what would you do if you have a heart attack just waiting for the storm, just thinking that storm is going to come, right? Or like you in prison and you going, you in trial and you have a heart attack because you think you might lose. What would you do if you lost? See, so they just anticipation of the stuff that's coming. They have heart attacks. It says their hearts be failing. So what do you think they do when it happens? These people got hell. It's coming on them. But see, that's going to make us turn to diamonds. Diamonds are the hardest substance known to mankind. And we just get better and better and better. Every 50 years, we get this energy wave. Quran tells you, it's momentous in the heavens and earth, but it come you but of a sudden. Every 50 years, we say, well, we can track it back. Last was in the 60s, one before that in the 20s, before that in 1865. During that time, every time we got stronger, stronger, stronger. They're being crushed. They're nervous. But the thing is, bro, says they're going to take as many of you they can with them. And believe it or leave it alone. For our kind of solace, those demons, they're going out with them because they got the same structure as their massive daddies. They're going out too. They want to take as many of us with them if they can. They got some crazy idea they can survive. I'm not going into details about that. This is talking about chapter the sixth seal. So we're gonna talk about that to some extent here. But this is the war. This is where the war starts. The figs must represent America and Britain. The fig tree is false Israel, and they've been hit by the Shia. That's the great win before they had a chance to do what they thought what they was trying to do. See, that's why it's untimed, unripe figs. Their figs wasn't ripe yet when they was taken out. So not enough of that.
And the stars of the heaven fell into the earth, as fig tree is throwing the unripe figs of it by wind great being shaken.
Okay, so we're gonna start here. Now this is during the JCPOA when Iran is under the feet of the nations in chapter 11, under the foot of the nations, right? Which, in other words, saying under UN control, because UN represents the nations. Okay, so this is a condition right here. This is where they were until Mr. Trump broke the agreement. So it was in this condition here for 3.5 years. 2015 to 18 to 2018 and a half. That's what it said, 3.5 years, 42 months. See? That's where we are right here. I'm just showing this part, but this is this is the part, it's. And then after 2018, right, they started rising up because the agreement was broken. So then they started moving up. And during this period of time, this is when they spread the plagues they're talking about chapter 11, between 2018 and 2020. That's when COVID come in, right? That's what it says. They spread the plagues on the earth as often they will. They'll be doing this period of time, they will be doing it. See? That's why wind underscore is not one of the part of the four winds. This the mighty wind it talked about, right? If you go back here, it's the mighty wind it talked about here. That's a different wind. See? Being shaken by a wind great. That's not the same thing as the four winds.
And the stars.
Okay. See? So wind's pushing. See, it's pushing. So you got the conflict between America and Britain and false Israel right now and Iran, because Iran's pushing. They try to argue about the JCPOA and everything, where they're going, because this was saying, now this is the situation we have right now. And it says from this situation, it says they're not going backwards. They're not going back to JCPOA, it means they have to go down, they're going to war. That's where we are right now in time. Or just like this is where we are right now. The conflict between America, Britain, false Israel, Iran, and Syria, the Shia, right? It's the win. Bam, war. So it's about to happen, brothers and sisters. It's about to happen. That's the war. Where Babylon falls from its position, right? Falls, and China represents the sea. That's the this great city that's falls. That's Britain thrown into the sea, right? And false Israel is no more. It's taken. It's no more. It has all kinds of implications, because the whole reason why false Israel was set up to prove to the nation that they was true seed of Abraham. See, and the whole prophecy says once they did it, never be uprooted. But now they're uprooted. That means they can't be. That means we are, because this was set up the counter narrative that we're true seed of Abraham, which has universal implications, because that means the whole world is in trouble, because the God is about to take his great power back, about to ascend to the throne after he's been spit on, kicked, raped, murdered, hung, see, everything you can think of. And now he's about to take his throne back, his mighty power. And all the nations are guilty. You think they want that? Oops. Went the wrong way. And then the winds blow. Now these are the four winds. See, America's at war. See, America's not just wind on the bottom here. They're at war with Russia and Europe. And that, I mean, that's not, that's EU rather, because Russia's part of Europe too. So it's Eastern Europe and Western Europe. They're at war. And Britain's at war with China and North Korea. Means America's at war with them too. That's what's about to happen. When that war takes place, this is going to be the result. And it says at that time, Europe, right? And you read chapter 18, this whole economy collapses. We're going to talk about that a little bit. Maybe I'll mention a little bit right here. The whole thing is, what happens is that when I'm saying Europe, that's EU, right? It's not including Russia. They totally depend on that oil in the Middle East, totally. Now the Shia has total control of it under the authority of Farad. China is also dependent on it. And North Korea totally dependent upon that oil from the Middle East. So we're told there that in the goat, in Daniel, also the 10 kings, they're talking about China and India, it's told that they will take out America. See, America's at war now in Europe. But it says they're going to take out America, right, attack America at that time. And it says they're going to do it. It says in Daniel, had the eyes, the goat, the horn between two eyes of Farad. And the angel talks about that he put in their hearts to do it. How do they do it? Because if they want to continue getting that oil, because their economies collapsed. They already saw what happened to EU. Their economy was totally collapsed. Because as soon as this war takes place and America and falls Israel and Britain are kicked out, the European so-called EU economy will collapse overnight because they was behind America in this war, behind false Israel, behind Britain in this war in Europe. And so now Shia cut off because they have total control of oil in the Middle East now. They have vanquished the dragon, House of Saud. They control all of the oil in the Middle East, all of it. Syria and Iran controls all of it. And so they cut off, and that collapsed their economy overnight. And all these other economies totally dependent. So now they can tell these other countries, if you want to continue to get this oil, you have to do what you want to do. So it says Farad tells them they got to take out America. Because America will be invaded. While they have war here, they'll be invaded. And it has all these other troubles going on with the locust plagues and black folks tearing the country apart and everything. We're not going to go into all that. Okay, the mighty wind, war. The mighty wind, war. Who will win? We're here to win, brothers and sisters. We're not here to survive it. Here to win it. And we're going to win it. We're winning now. Okay, so we're going to walk through this. 2015 through 18, I said that. That's at the bottom here, on the foot of the nations, chapter 11. Iran and Syria, on the foot of the nations. See, that's what it means, right? And that's because they're under control of the UN. UN to monitoring them, they're under authority of the UN. So, and that will last for 42 months or 3.5 years. See? Now, the agreement's over. Iran's pressured America and Europe with their nuclear program. They tried to get them to stop it. They said, no, we're not going to stop him. We're not going to stop him. That's putting pressure on them because they said they cannot allow Iran to have a nuclear weapon. That's putting pressure on them. False Israel said, no, we're going to attack them. Right? America and America still have sanctions on them. Iran's pushing harder. That's what it's talking about. The wind's blowing. See, how long would it take to be strong enough to cause that fig tree to throw its figs? That's where we are right now in time. And also the plague is going on. It says they'll be able to plague the earth as often as they will. This during the plague period. This plague came in 2020. Bam, the war. That means The JC, that's why I said watch JCPOA. Talks will fail, which means what? Those talks fail, it's war automatically, no doubt about it. It's already stated. They can't get them back to JCPOA, they're going to war. It's already stated, publicly stated. Europe has stated, Russia hasn't stated, but EU has stated, Britain has stated, America has stated, false Israel has stated. So that's why watch it. So if they go back JCPOA and this is all wrong, I got it all wrong. But it says they're not. So that means a war. That's what chapter 12. Michael's angels fight the dragon's angels. Who's the dragon? It's House of Saud, who claim they're Muslim, Arabs. They're not. They're really Indians. The British put on the throne and masquerade as Arabs. Here it is. America, Britain, and false Israel kicked out. They're throwing them out. That's what it says in chapter 12. They're thrown out of heaven. They're kicked out. They're defeated decisively. Not just kicked out, they kicked out the whole Middle East region. But false Israel can't leave, so they're taken. There it is. Babylon falls. Britain is thrown to the sea. False Israel is no more. So now there's no doubt that we are the true seed of Abraham, which has universal, international implications. That's far greater than you can understand. Maybe some of you might understand to some extent, but most of you have no idea of what's about to happen. You understand what's going on. It says they will come as a snare. As a snare. What does that mean? A snare to who? To you black folks, because you ain't paying attention. You had your head in Kobe's ass, NFL, all that kind of stuff. So come as a snare. You get caught in the snare. What does that mean? See, depends on what kind of snare it is. You just roasted, killed, or eaten. That's what I said. Once that happens, EU is bankrupt. But then they have to have a military draft in America, which causes all kinds of problems in America. Because now they're at war with China and India, who will raise, Angel said, 200 million man army. America can't raise an army anywhere near that. That means they have to draft everybody that possibly pull a trigger. Everybody. And that's not going to go down with black folks, neither demons or the original people. It's not going down. The original people ain't going for the draft. Some of the demons will, but they ain't going down with them. That's going to ignite, that's going to be part of what's going to ignite this locust war. See, this 5-year locust plague. At that time, that's when Suleiman will come to the NOI. They reject him the first time, but now he comes back to prepare them, right, for the war and to clean out. That's the messenger of the covenant that they tell you there's no one coming after Elijah. Read Malachi. It said the messenger of the covenant will suddenly come to his temple. To whose temple? Elijah's temple. So he couldn't be Elijah. He's not coming. Elijah's not coming his own. He says messenger of the covenant. See, he's after Elijah. He's not preparing the way. Who's Elijah preparing the way for? He's not preparing the way for Farad. Farad prepared the way for him. So this is those clowns you want to? Fine. We're not here to convince you, brothers and sisters. If you don't want clean water, have at it. Drink up what they're giving you. They're pissing everything else in it. If that's what you want, drink it. See? And make sure you got a lot of money because they make sure you pay for it. Then the power shift. See, they know China and India is coming stronger and stronger and stronger. They made them stronger trying to keep us down. We see it happen before. I've been talking about this for years, over 30 years. See? That China and India is going to be a new world power because now America's bogged down, right? And there's a power shift. India tells a power shift. He had a dragon. He had 7 heads and 10 horns. His crown was upon his head. That means European countries. But the other one, this beast, has 7 heads, 10 horns. His crown is upon the horns. That's China and India. So that's a power shift. They took it from the dragon. They took authority from the dragon. Now they have their superpowers. All this going to happen suddenly. They're going to be the new superpowers. And that's when they're going to attack America. So here are the horns, right? See the crowns down there. I'm missing one on the ram anyway. You understand. So that power shift. See, Farrakhan don't know what the beast is. He don't know what the dragon is. He don't know any stuff. He don't know any of it. He couldn't tell you what that means if his life's been on it. See? So you want to keep drinking dirty water, keep drinking it. See, we explain everything. He explains everything. See? That's what old lion Ishmael talking about. Man, truth be clear, he come in knowledge for every. He get a total knowledge. Farrakhan give you total knowledge. He telling you about science, math, right? Scripture. In fact, he said scripture's corrupt. He doesn't know any math. He definitely don't know any science. So how the hell is he getting complete knowledge? We talk about all here. We give you science. We give you scripture. We give you mathematics. We give you all here. All of it. That's what said Suleiman would do. Then comes the wind. See, the first of the wind is this key. See, that's the key that he opens up the pit to release the locust plague. Black folks going to tear this country up. Demon black folks, not, see, master's children. Say 5 months, this is going to go on. I mean, it's going to be nothing like what this George Floyd thing, be 1,000 times worse than that. What's going on here? Oh, boy. Oh, man. Okay, that's the four winds. See? That's going to cause the resurrection, that great army you talk about. Ezekiel, the second resurrection. First resurrection didn't have any spirit. That was the resurrection of the Levites by Elijah. Second one be by Suleiman or Lazarus. Two resurrections. This one has spirit. See? That's what happened here. Four winds blow, there's the resurrection. But then the demons come along with saints. See, that's chaff and the wheat together. So now the wheat, the chaff has to be separated out. This comes together. See, all black folks will come together. This war go down, they'll come after us, attack us. This draft has part of it and some other considerations, but they're going to attack us. That's of course black. That's the four winds. So we might have to call those four winds because they're going to attack all blacks, not just original blacks, but demons too. They ain't taking any chance. They're going to attack all blacks. That's going to force all blacks come together, but we don't want the demons. So now they want to be part of us. Hey, bro. No, ain't no bro. You've been ripping us off. Parasites, that's what you've been. Come in, getting black votes, give them nothing. You out there with Massa, marrying Massa's children, carrying on. Now you want to be bro? No. See, because you're not our children. You're Massa's children. We don't want you. So that's why I said let the chaff and the wheat grow together. So they come together to harvest, right? Remember, Suleiman doing all this. Farah gave him the power to do it. Suleiman is the son, David is the father. He said Suleiman would get power that he's the Christ to do all this here, and then once he's done it all, he's the Ancient of Days, he gives it back to his father. Okay. That's separation. Demons are cast out, right? And we're home. See, because she's not coming over here. We're the elect up there. We're home. We've been delivered. Michael, right, stands up, deliver all those in the Lamb's book of life. In the book of life, he delivers all those, we go home. But who's left behind? It's two groups. One everlasting life, one everlasting shame and palm. That's the demons at the bottom. That's the everlasting shame and palm. They throw them back in the fire. In Mark, where it says, the demons, right? They were thrown back to the devil daddies. Because what did Farrakhan say, Mr. Legion? Louis Eugene Grounds, NOI backwards, you can't make this up, right? He said, please don't make me leave the country. You want to stay here. We Elijah Muhammad said, clearly, we have the tape. You'd be a fool to want to stay here in the land of your imprisonment. Farrakhan wants to go, because that's what it says. He said, I don't make me leave the country. You want to stay with daddy. See? Because that's what he is. He follows the devil. So that's what's happening here. See? So we're gone. We're back home now. See? Now, the powers, the two global powers now is China and India. That's what the crowns are. And demons are here left back in America. And they're tearing this country apart. See? So I said, we're back home. See? America and Europe is isolated. The demons are with them. China, India, and not only China and India, but it says it was three beasts. It was two beasts and a dragon. One beast has 7 heads and 10 horns, and the crowns was upon his horns. That's this one. Then it was the dragon. He has 7 heads, 10 horns also, but the crowns on his heads. That's the European country. The power's been shifted. Now the Europeans, right? They're being, right? They're fighting against each other. They're falling apart, right? And then you had another beast. He has 7 heads, 10 horns, but he had no crowns on his horns. That's non-Islamic Africa. Will be led by Obama. Africa is about to be split into two groups, Islamic Africa and non-Islamic Africa. He's going to lead non-Islamic Africa. And they all going to be together, because he said he'll be alongside. The beast has 7 heads and 10 horns, and the crowns upon his horns. See, he'll be alongside. So they'll be all together when they attack America. That's the goat. His America comes from the west. If he doesn't touch land, he comes across the Pacific Ocean. Hits the ram, that's America and Britain. With violence, he's angry. You see, China's getting more angry every day. This angel brother says, this clean water, we're not twisting, turning anything. Everything we say, you can go to scripture and read exactly like we said it. Scripture's not corrupt. There's bad translations, but you can get the original. So keep on drinking that bad water. Gonna kill you. Then the flood. You take out America first, Britain, and then all the rest of Europe. That's the flood. All this happened very quickly. And then what's left is them and us. They have the whole world except the Middle East. And the whole world. At this point, once they take it out, they go to war with each other, and Obama ends up victorious. He's leading the whole shebang. See? And as I said, once they do that, they're going to look over where we are. They're going to see we are a country with no walls around us. We have peace, security. And that's when they say, hey, we got the whole world. Just got to take them out. That's the final war. That's the worst one. There's 6 months to bury the dead. See? Get ready, brothers and sisters. Sisters, you ain't got anything to worry about because we're going to protect you. But there's some warrior sisters out there that want to kick some ass. See? So we got to think about that one, right? But we're going to war, brothers and sisters. We're going to protect you, brothers and sisters. You haven't been protected for 400 years, you're going to get protection like you never had before. No one's ever going to F with you again. They're not ever going to kiss your feet. If they think about mess with you from that day on, you understand? They don't even think about it, because at that point we'll be able to detect their thoughts. You'll be the most respected being in the universe. No one will touch you anymore. You'll be the queen, the goddess you're supposed to be. Perfect, beautiful. See? And no one, and respected. And no one will touch you ever again. So then, here comes the war, the final one. See, it says the last enemy he had was death. That's Suleiman. The last enemy he had was death. See, they think you mean like when you die and stuff. That's what Farrakhan was saying today. And Ishmael. It's stupid people. No, death represents Orient with Hades following behind it. That's the last war. And he takes it out. And then he turns everything over to Farad, his father, David. Suleiman's the high priest. David's the God. Period. And that's the new reality. Doesn't have any Orientals in it. We explained why that's before. That's the new. See, the waters down here, that's the Arabs, right? They're ruled by the NOI that went through tribulation. They went through tribulation. Remember, the ark rests upon the waters. The waters was a tribulation. So they went through the tribulation. See? But it says, some everlasting life and some everlasting shame and department. Those are the ones everlasting life. See? But they had to go through tribulation because they wasn't delivered. The ones that were delivered, right, that was the elect. But it said there was two groups left that woke up too late. One everlasting life, that's these, and everlasting shame and department, that's the demons. They're gone. See? So they had to go to tribulation. They had to take the scenic route out of here. See? We took the luxury route, first class, on the wheel. They have to take the scenic route. That's no stuff I'm not going to talk about. I have to have a presentation to explain that. But that's what's going on here. See? So, and then that's the new, once it's over, that's the new reality. That's the ark. That's new reality. And this is the new heavens. That's the elect, Iran, the rainbow there. Remember the rainbow is on the earth? Place Ambrose will play. They think it's a real rainbow like out when you see out in the sun. No. This is to represent the rainbow if you understand the angel on from the waters. So waters represent the Arabs, right? And the Levites, they've been with them. They'll be ruling them. And there'll be one person, has yet to be identified, that's amongst them, that's going to be ruling here. We see the wind there, that's Elijah. We see wind there, that's Elijah. He's ruling Africa. Remember, the Levites represent Africa. He's going to rule the continent of Africa. Pharaoh is ruling it all. Iran and Syria, they got what Jerusalem, Syria, all those areas. See, that's where they're going. That's they're gonna be a kingdom, right? The elect right there, that's Arabia, Mecca. That's us, the best part of the planet Earth. We're at the top. That's where Suleiman's throne would be, in Mecca. Pharaoh's throne would be in Jerusalem, but he ruled all. See, but Suleiman's high priest, his throne would be in Mecca. See, that's what I said. Throne of David would be in Jerusalem. Elijah would rule what we call Africa right now, right? And this Levites and the one that's yet to be identified, the one's going to take Farrakhan out, that's finally going to step up and take him out. He's going to be the ruler, and he's going to rule what we know now is like the Afghanistan and the those places, Southern Europe, all those areas. Afghanistan, like Turkey and all that kind of place like that there. That's the area they will rule. Over here in America, nobody will be able to live here 1,000 years. It says this place is going to be radiated. It says nobody will live here 1,000 years. It says only ours will be able to live here. Okay, brothers and sisters, hope you understand. Is that it? Okay, that's it, brothers and sisters. We're in it. They want clean water, give it to them freely. They have to pay for it. It's a free gift. They don't want it, let them drink dirty water. It's up to them. But once they taste clean water, they won't go back to that unless they're a demon. Because we don't give water. You don't get any water from us if you're a demon. We find you're a demon, that's water's cut off. We don't. They said, don't feed your pearls to swine. Then they tell you, don't feed your pearls to swine, because they stamp your pearls to the ground and come back and trample on you. It tells you that in Scripture. So we're not feeding demons. Once you recognize you're a demon, we don't feed you it. Okay, brothers and sisters. Hope I covered everything here. See? Remember, you're the apple of Pharaoh's eyes, right? We all love you. You're our brothers and sisters. There's no tyranny here. No compulsion. Like I said, no compulsion. Islam is everything. Islam is mathematics, Islam, no compulsion. No arguing, fight anybody. See? But you have to be in the Lamb's Book of Life to get out of here. Because we don't want any crazy people, blind people. We don't want any blind elephants. We don't want any demons and that kind of stuff. We want original people who are thinking people. Thinking. Because religion doesn't require you to think. Because once you get mathematics, there's no argument anymore. No one's going to argue whether 5 plus 5 is 10 or 2 plus 8 is 10. They might disagree on how to come to 10, but no one's going to argue that 2 plus 8 is 10, 3 plus 7 is 10, 1 plus 9 is 10, 12 minus 2 is 10. You understand what I'm saying? But right now, anything goes. 2 plus 2 is 22. Anything goes. In religion, because there's no magic, no logic to it. Just got to believe it. Faith. Your life comes live after you die. And okay, you can't prove any of it. So we got to get rid of those people that think like that, right? And promote that kind of stuff, especially promoter. You're a drug pusher, trying to protect your corner. If you're a drug pusher at all, you ain't getting out of here pushing that garbage. Selling that dirty water to our people. Our people are lost for lack of knowledge. That means you got blood on your hands. Because you tell them you got clean water and then you're preventing them from getting clean water, even taste it. Because you know if they taste it, you're toast. Why Farrakhan talking about scriptures corrupt? Because all you got to do is read Exodus. See, Farrakhan's stupid, he's dumb. But that's okay. He just has to be less dumb than the people that's following him. They got to be more dumb than him so he can lead them. And they really dumb because they can't even follow Exodus. Because Exodus, anyone can follow it. They can't. That's how dumb they are. It's really dumb because they follow Exodus. He's toast. See? So you make sure they don't stay away from it and they don't take time to read it because that means they're idolaters because they're not after the truth. They're proving they're idolaters because they be following the truth rather than following him. I don't want anybody to follow me, and I never ask anybody to follow me. I tell you, acknowledge the truth. That's why I look like I and everything else. Because if you're looking at me, then you get the wrong idea. Look at what I'm saying. I want you to follow me because I won't be here forever. Get the angel. Start following the truth. Mathematics. That's how you honor Allah. That's how you're in total submission. Because you're in total submission now. You just don't know it. See? Because fire burns in the heels. See? So if you don't acknowledge, right, that means hey, you part of the fire that burn. You're going to burn. Still mathematics. And it says everything is under follow Allah's will. What does that mean? See, because everything is good. Fire, it depends on how you use it. So if you can't get on with mathematics, that means you're not ready for the hereafter. So you're left behind. You're a disbeliever. That's what the difference between disbeliever and a believer. Disbeliever is the one when the revelation comes, the new reality, time moves on. They can't move on with time. They're out of sync with time. So by definition, they lost in the past. So they lost in the past, then we don't care about them. We don't care about what's in the past. The past is gone. That's a disbeliever. So if you move on to the future, you have no care about the past. It's gone. If you're moving on the future, those that are not keeping up, they're lost in the past. So you just keep on moving. After a while, you don't see them no more. That's a disbeliever. Don't worry about them. They did it to themselves. You got the scriptees, right? And you got the time makers. Time makers just holding on to the past. Oh, I'm holding on to Prophet Muhammad. I'm holding on to Moses. I'm holding on. Hold on then. Time makers. Okay, Negroes. Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. Assalamu alaikum.